Crevonte, you hear that sound? It's going down. As we now take a look at one of our favorite, and I know you know this guy very well,
Hmm.
draft profile prospects, Marvin Harrison Jr. You really don't need to say much more other than those three names, and you know the lineage. I,
Absolutely.
I mean, you've probably heard it all if you heard of this guy before. 6'3", 209, 31 7/8 inch arms, 9.5 inch hands. That is crazy. 2021 played in all 13 games. 11 for 139, three touchdowns in the Rose Bowl, set a Rose Bowl record with touchdowns. 2022 first team All Pro or All American, Big Ten Receiver of the Year, 14 receiving touchdowns, 77 receptions, 16.4 per reception. 2023 won a Bolitnikoff Award, 67 receptions, 14 receiving touchdowns, and first player in school history to have 1,000-yard multiple 1,000-yard receiving seasons, and we know he's the son of Marvin Harrison Sr., played at Syracuse, eight-time Pro Bowler with the Colts, Hall of Famer, Super Bowl 41 champion. Crevonte, I mean, the guy didn't even have to do anything. He just showed up.
Yo, I haven't seen this in a while. He did nothing. The season ended for Ohio State, and he said, "I'm just gonna work out in silence. I'm working by my god doggone self." Like, he didn't participate in the combine. He didn't even participate in the pro day. Like, this is crazy. But when you're the number one guy at that position, and in my opinion, I think he's number one on a lot of draft boards, big on a lot of draft big boards. He is the number one prospect this year, regardless of position. And if you feel like you that, why? In that sense, I guess he's got it right. Why? I mean, at this point, you will only be doing it to entertain us some more with how great he is playing that wide receiver position. You talk about his dad? We know his dad very well, and his dad played with one of the best quarterbacks of all time in Peyton Manning. But my gosh, he gave DBs a hard way to go. And his son, Marvin Harrison Jr., is bigger than him. Is crazy. He's 6'3", somewhere in a 6'3", 6'4" range. Well, he's a little bit under 6'4", but wildly super productive. And was the best receiver in the nation in 2022. Um, and he got consistent press coverage and sent a lot of double teams, and he was still the number one receiver in 22. We all saw what he did in 20. We already knew going to 23 what it was going to be. Elite, elite level athlete, super soft hands, has a knack for coming down with the wildest acrobatic catches. A supreme, and he gets this from his pop, a supreme technician in footwork and route running, hand usage. It I was like, yeah, he looked. If you didn't know who Marvin Harrison Sr. was, you would think he knew somebody very well that taught him how to play this wide receiver position. But he does, and he did. um, let's see. He didn't do much of the combine, so not much to talk about that. Elite with contested catches. Again, he's 6'3", almost 6'4", so 50-50 is not really 50-50 with him. It's probably more 65-35. Um, Knack for tracking down passes downfield, which is very hard to do if you're not used to doing it. Um, Long arms allow him to get his hands, to fight back and get off the press. And surprisingly, so good quickness off the line. This is the best prospect. Number one wide receiver, number one prospect. And yes, Caleb Williams is still in the draft, and Jaden Daniels is still in the draft. Now, he's not going to go number one because of the need for a quarterback for the teams at the top of the draft. The quarterback position is still the most valuable position in football, so he's not going to go number one, even though he is the number one prospect. So the first team that does not need a quarterback is probably going to take him, which me and you think is Arizona at number 4, if Arizona doesn't trade out. Um,
Help
because
our boy out. Help our boy Kyler Murray out.
come on, man. I still like Kyler Murray. Like he does some goofy things. Okay. But he is still a franchise quarterback for Arizona. And you see the difference from when he wasn't in to when he was in. They were very, very competitive. And shout out to Coach Gannon because they looked like they were really turning the corner. Like they were playing competitive football. They wasn't winning much, but they were playing competitive football. Get him a bona fide wide receiver. Uh, dare I say, resemblance of Larry Fitzgerald, and bring him to Arizona, and they'll do good things. They'll do good things together. Now they're not a wide receiver away. They still have to do some other things for as the Cardinals, but I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr., I think any team would love to have Marvin Harrison Jr. on their team. Like that's the type of prospect he is.
Any weaknesses? I know you said a little Larry Fitzgerald. Any other pro comp? And could he possibly go three to New England? Could they just shake up the whole world and say, "Hey, we're gonna just go ahead and take Marvin Harrison, go best player available. Then we may trade back at the end of the first and take a Penix or take a Bo Nix or someone maybe."
Um, they could shake it up. Like I said, and I'm just talking about me. I wouldn't trade up to 3 for a Drake May or a JJ McCarthy. Um, but I don't think, and with that being said, I think the Patriots might be stuck. And like I said, they really love Drake. I mean Jaden Daniels, and I don't think they're in love with Drake May. So I think the best thing to do for them is um, if they can't trade back, best player available. And like I said, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best player without taking anybody. So you take him at 3, that's value in itself because he could have went number 1 according to the big board. But I love Larry Fitzgerald, and I don't know if it's because he wore red in college and probably has an opportunity to wear red again with the Arizona Cardinals. But I like that comp. Sure hands. We Larry Fitzgerald. How long has he been out the league? Because his
It's
whole
probably been about probably almost about 3 or 4. He's getting close to being eligible.
he's getting close. Like he needs to get his Hall of Fame speech ready because I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and Marvin Harrison Jr. could fill in right. Well, not even right behind him, but behind him and lead in some pretty big footsteps.
Also see like CD Lamb comparison, so that's not bad either. I mean, I know you see how good he's become. I mean, and I'm
And
not gonna
he
lie, we was a little skeptical about that pick. Like, oh, what we getting receiver
absolutely,
for? And then
absolutely, especially where Dallas took him. Um, but he's once Amari Cooper left, he got his feet wet, and he has now solidified himself as a star in the NFL, not just the NFCs, but in the NFL. And he's going to show his stardom by holding out this all season, possibly if the Cowboys don't pay him. Man, Cowboys really ain't got time to really be dealing with it, but they're gonna have to because you got a star at wide receiver. And Marvin Harrison Jr. will be a star. So that's not a bad comparison, but just the height, his build. I mean, damn, his pops. His pops could be a damn good comparison as well. But yeah, it's not many weaknesses. Let's see. All right, so let's nitpick real quick. Um, Too often brought down by first contact. Don't really break tackles in open field. Blah 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 blah. Um, his cuts aren't as sharp, but he's still a hell of a route runner. Like I said, we're nitpicking. Ball security. He holds the ball a little loose. Sometimes he probably needs to tighten that up at the next level because we know DBs like to punch the ball out. So if we're nitpicking, but it's very very minor. He is the guy of this. He's the top prospect in this draft.
and is he lapping the field when it comes to receivers, or any of the other guys close? I know we'll talk about him, but are they close in his same? Are they even in the same classroom?
Um, I think Malik Neighbors and Romo Doomsday is in the class, but Marvin Harrison's in the front row, and they're like in the classroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if Marvin Harrison, but going into it, beginning of the year, I'd have said yeah, but it ain't nobody in the class but Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's head and shoulders above Malik Neighbors and Romo Doomsday. Romo Doomsday really came on. You know, he had to come on because it was really Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors at the beginning of the year. Malik Neighbors has really made a name, solidified himself as like, because this helped a little bit. This was in Malik Neighbors' favor. Marvin Harrison didn't do anything. So now it's all eyes. It was all eyes on Malik Neighbors and all the other wide receivers to like, oh snap, we got a chance to stake our claim as trying to at least push Marvin Harrison Jr. But I think the consistency is going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. But it's not head and shoulders. I think Malik Neighbors and Romo Doomsday is in the class, but Marvin Harrison is just in the front row.
Well, Crevonte, we here in the Flex Zone on a class of our own because we're giving you sports how you want it.
When you need it.
And we'll be back with more Draft Profile.